Hi, I'm eating a quesadilla right now, so my lighting's weird because I'm in a different room. Hi everyone, but that's okay. I'm starving right now, so gotta eat. It's like a weird quesadilla I got from Trader Joe's, and it has like corn in it and stuff, but it's really good. I totally forgot I had a live stream today, but luckily I put them on my calendar because I'm smart this month. So I put everything on my calendar, and I was making my quesadilla, and it was like, you have a live stream in 15 minutes, and I was like, shit! So, welcome to my mukbang. I've been so fascinated by your pregnancy videos lately because I'm pregnant right now. Oh, congratulations! And thank you. I've been wanting to do a video about like what my kids eat in a day, but I'm trying to figure out like the right balance between like being able to do it but not being able to like not accidentally giving too much information about my kids. I just kind of want to share like my tips about like feeding, because it can be really hard, especially if you have picky eaters. That shit is tough. So I've learned some tricks along the way, so I think it'd be an interesting video, but I'm trying to figure out how to scope that one out. Maybe just do the making of the food. Yeah, that was the plan, but like I don't want to like delve too much into like I feel like I have to say some things because a lot of things are because of like them being picky eaters or whatever. So like, but then how far do I go in talking about that? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna like show them, obviously. It's so hot. I made a mistake. I'm lucky that I'm not in that position. I'm so excited to share my kids, but I don't really have social media presence. I mean, honestly, I don't think I would show my kids publicly, even if I didn't have social media presence, because I just don't feel like it's my place. Like even on my personal Facebook, where I don't add anybody that I don't know personally, I don't share pictures of my kids there either. I just don't share pictures of my kids through anywhere besides like text messaging to like my parents or whatever, because I just don't feel like it's appropriate for me to be sharing that like with people that my kids don't know, and like, you know, I just don't feel like it's fair of me. But to each their own with that. That's my personal decision. Spicy hot or heat hot? A little bit of both. It's not that spicy, but it's really fucking heat hot. But I did not bring any water because I'm a big Dumbo. But there is some water right here. I don't know if it's still good, but I think I'll probably give it a try. When they're older, do you think they'll want to be online? I mean, I'm sure they will. Every, like, preteen, teenager I know wants to be online. It's this age, you know? And I'm sure they will. I don't know if they'll want to be in, like, our spotlight, but I hope not. And even so, even when they're older, I feel like there still needs to be some sort of, like, limit, because they still are not adults. You know what I mean? Like, I would prefer, like, if they had, like, their own, like, accounts or whatever when they're older, that their stuff, like, is private and is, like, for their friends and things like that, and not, like, part of our channels are connected to us, because it's just, it's opening that door for all sorts of negativity. And especially as, like, a teenager, a preteen, like, you're super, like, susceptible to negativity and, like, cyberbullying and stuff, and it can be really hard to work through at that age, because you're really just, like, trying to figure shit out, and so it's, like, hard. It's hard to see that stuff, and stuff that, like, you know, a preteen or a teenager doesn't even deserve, because it comes from people disliking me or disliking Greg, and it has nothing to do with them. So I'd prefer that they do it one way, but on the same note, you know, they'll be older and they'll have some, you know, you have to give them some independence and some say in their own life at a certain point. TBH, I got myself into whole ass disasters as a young teen because of my unrestricted internet access. Same. I mean, okay, honestly, everything worked out pretty good for me, but it could have gone very wrong. Like, put it to you this way. I started dating a 26-year-old man that I met over the internet when I was 17. That could have gone very poorly. Luckily, it didn't. I got very lucky that, like, he wasn't, like, a serial killer, but that could have gone horribly. And, like, I didn't understand that at the time, but now that I'm an adult, I'm like, whoa there, pal. That could have been the end of your life if you weren't lucky, so. But the universe is looking out for me, so that's fine. I used to go into a lot of, like, chat rooms when I was, like, 13. I used to always go in the Bobby Jack chat room. I don't know how old you people are, if you remember Bobby Jack. But he was, like, that monkey who was, like, on all these clothing, all, like, the clothing, and, I don't know, he's basically, like, a meme before memes were a thing. Anyway, so I owned Bobby Jack everything. Like, it's all I wore, like, all of 6th grade year. If my shirt didn't have Bobby Jack on it, I wasn't wearing it. Anyways, I used to go in, like, these Bobby Jack chat rooms, and at the time, I didn't fucking know what any of it was, but, like, I, like, distinctly remember people being like, oh, do you want to cyber? And I'm like, this, like, 11-year-old, and I'm like, what's that? And it's, like, probably these, like, fucking old dudes preying on, like, 11-year-olds, and I was totally unaware. To be fair, my parents did try to restrict my internet access, like with the Bobby Jack stuff. My parents were like, oh, it's a Bobby Jack website, like, no big deal, right? Wrong. And then another, like, thing is, like, I wasn't allowed to have a MySpace, until I was, like, 13 or something. And so I made one secretively, and I had my name as Otterpop so that my parents couldn't find me. Because I had, like, this old, like, shitty laptop that I could, like, use, whatever. That I got when I was, like, in 6th grade. Because it didn't work very well, so my parents were like, oh, they can't do much with this. So, I would go on MySpace, and one day I was, like, in my room on MySpace, like, typing away, and my mom walked in, and instead of, like, being a normal person and just, like, closing the window and, like, hey, Mom, what's up? I just, like, quickly, like, shut my laptop, and I was like, I'm not hiding anything, and so my mom opened my laptop and saw that I was on MySpace, and I got in trouble, so. I very clearly remember being, like, 9 in a chat room and someone said ASL, and I was like, no, you're an asshole, fuck you. When I was, like, 8, I was in a chat room and someone who I knew was 8, by the way, or who knew I was 8, asked me if I knew what horny was, and I asked my mom, and she got on my computer and told the guy she knew where he lived. Oh my god, that's savage as hell. Yeah, I don't know. The internet's crazy, man. Truthfully, I kind of hate the internet. Like, I love the internet for some things, but I hate the internet for other things. Like, I don't know. It's a really weird, like, love-hate relationship because the internet has ruined my life, but also enhanced my life greatly. So, I don't know how I feel about this whole internet business. Because people are fucking mean. Okay, also, I need to vent for a second. I have to vent about 2 things. Thing number 1. I think I have a pinched nerve. I'm not really entirely sure what it is. So if you see me, like, violently flinch at any time in this, it's because I'm getting this pain. And it's been happening for 3 days. It's like a shooting pain, and it goes from about right here up to, like, over my ear. And it's like somebody stuck me with, like, a cattle prod. And it hurts so bad every time, and it, like, makes my whole body, like, jolt. And I don't know how to get rid of it. My neck fucking hurts. And I've been, like, trying to, like, rub it and have Greg rub it. I've been, like, icing it. And it just, like, is so fucked up. I didn't even do anything to it. Just hold on. He scared the shit out of me. He knocked on the window. Anyways, so that's one vent. Vent number 2. Don't you hate it when somebody was only being your friend so that they could, like, sleep with you? Because it wasn't refreshing comments. I'm sorry. I was like, why isn't nobody talking to me? Okay. Yeah, don't you hate it when, somebody is only your friend because they want to sleep with you? Isn't that lame? It's fucking lame. I'm really annoyed. Like, I would rather people be very upfront with me. Like, if you want to, like, sleep with me or, like, date me or whatever, just tell me that. Like, from the get-go, just like, hey, my intentions in talking to you are to date. And then I'd be like, cool. Like, yes or no. Like, do I feel like pursuing this or potentially pursuing this? Or, like, is it, like, just a no from me? Then we know everything's out on the table, you know? But, like, to just, like, be friends with me in, like, the hopes that you, like, being my friend and being there for me is going to get you in my good favor to date you. And then, like, when I say, like, oh, like, I just want to be friends, they just, like, fall off the fucking map. Like, that's so shitty, and it, like, fucking sucks. And I just, like, 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 under the guise of friendship. And so it's like, what was even, like, real? Like, what did you do because you even cared about me? Versus, like, what were you doing just to, like, try to sleep with me? You know what I mean? It's fucking annoying. And rude. And guys do that shit all the time. I know girls do it too, but guys do that shit so fucking much. But they, like, play the nice guy, and they're your best friend, and then you're like, oh, I like just being friends. And they're like, oh, fuck you, bitch. Like, fucking friend zone. And it's like, yes, because that's what I thought we were, because that is what you made me believe with your fucking friendship. Act like you're the bad guy for it. Stupid. That's my vent for today. I'm sure we'll see this on Realstream tomorrow. Hey YouTube. What's up, Realstream? And whoever is leaking this to him, how you doing? You didn't friend zone them, they fuck zoned you. That's a good one. I like that. Take the power away from them. What if they're the bad guy because they didn't hit on you hard enough? But it's like, it's obvious when, like, somebody's, like, trying to hit on you, or, like, having banter with you or whatever. Or, like, even subtly flirting. Like, I'm usually pretty good at, like, picking up hints on that. I mean, it does get confusing when you're, like, when something that's happening, but then the person is also being like, oh, no, like, I don't have feelings for you. Like, it's all a joke. And then you're like, oh, okay. So it just, like, sets a totally wrong premise of everything. And then you're confused, and then it's a mess. Also, so I guess the last live stream got leaked onto Realstream or whatever. Which is shitty, but whatever. I'm not surprised. But, somebody filed a copyright claim as me, but I didn't file it. I was planning on it, but I guess they beat me to the punch, but I'm, like, trying to figure out who the fuck it was, because it wasn't me, and it wasn't Greg. But they had my P.O. Box number, and they had my phone number, and they had my full name, and so I'm like, who the fuck are you, and how are you doing this? I'm really confused, so it didn't go through, but because I don't think they had the right, like, information. But I don't know. I'm really stressed out. And, like, it's like, oh, under penalty of perjury, do you, like, say all of this is correct? And then they sign my name. And I'm like, I didn't do this. So I'm like, what if I go to jail? I don't know. I clearly don't know how jail works. I'm just terrified of it. Ow. Fuck. Hey. It's funny because this thing doesn't hurt all day. And then, like, right around 7 o'clock, it just starts fucking hurting again. If you found out who did that, can't you just sue them? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm thinking about, like, writing YouTube and being like, yo, I didn't file that claim. But I also, like, feel like I should just leave it. And if something happens because of it, then be like, yo, I didn't write that claim. I don't know. I don't know who it was. It's somebody who has my phone number. I don't know who does have my phone number. Not many people. I'm going to try this water now. Oh, just kidding. I'm not. There's something in it, and that's disgusting. Why? His office is a mess. For, like, fraud or some shit. Yeah, I mean, you can't sign somebody else's name on, like, something. What's that called? Forgery. Right. Forgery. Because that was not me, friend. And I don't know who it was who has my phone number. I'm creeped out. Identity theft. I don't know if it'd go as far as being identity theft, but definitely forgery. Maybe I should write YouTube just so I don't get in trouble. I don't know. I don't want to go to jail, basically. I watch too much jail shows, and I don't want to go to jail. That's super creepy. I know. And, like, I feel like if it was somebody I knew who filed it, who has my phone number, they would have been like, hey, just wanted you to know I saw this video and I just, like, decided to submit a claim because it's your content. And so I'd be like, oh, okay, but nobody told me that. So I think I have an idea of who it might be, but I also don't know why they're submitting a claim as me. I don't know. But it's also, like, fucked up that Realstream would even upload it, which this is probably going to get uploaded too, me talking about him. But, this is private content that's, like, it's paid content. And you're, like, not allowed to post other people's paid content. You know, you can repost somebody else's video under fair use, where you comment on it, or you add something to it, or whatever. It's a transformative work. But this is not, one, it's not transformative whatsoever. He's just taking my clip and uploading it with some dramatic-ass title when nothing is dramatic. And two, like, it's a paid content. Like, this is patron exclusive. It's not public. It's not something that is for everybody to see. It's for the patrons that, like, are paying to literally be here. So it's fucked up. I saw this streamer talking about, and it confused me how it even got to YouTube. I was actually wondering about that. Yeah, I'm sure somebody in here dislikes me and is taping this right now and then sends it over to Realstream. Or maybe it's Realstream himself who is under some other account. I don't know. But it's something like that. I actually had to block somebody last month because, so one of my patrons, like, who I trust very much, sent me, like, a screenshot from a hate site of somebody posting something from my private Instagram. And I was like, it was that picture where I'm, like, in my binder, and they're like, oh, look at your dysphoria. Yeah, so dysphoric. First of all, I'm literally in a binder. But, okay. Second of all, they left their, they didn't crop out their profile picture on the screenshot that they took. So, my friend, like, went and, like, looked through my followers and, like, found the person with the profile picture and was like, here's the username. You're welcome. I was like, oh my god, a sleuth. So I felt, it was like, block, like, Get the fuck out of here if you don't like me. I don't understand. Like I said, you're welcome to have your opinion of me or whatever. That's fine. But I just don't understand why you would literally pay me to watch me if you don't like me. It just doesn't make sense. It's fine if you don't like me. Just don't. I mean, I guess it's the better way to do things, right? At least I'm getting paid to deal with it, so can't be that mad. I've had people like that in Discord too, who like are actual pledges, and then I kick them from Discord because they're like saying I'm a serial killer or something, and then they write me on Patreon and it's like, I got kicked from the Discord, and I'm like, well, yeah. Of course you did. Can you view who's viewing your streams? Because if you can, the person leaking the streams probably doesn't comment at all. I'm sure they don't, but I feel like there's also people who like just don't comment because they're kind of shy. Like when I go to a stream, I typically don't comment. I just kind of watch. Like if I'm trying to watch somebody like that I like watching or whatever, like I'm kind of like that, and I would hate to like punish somebody who isn't guilty. You know what I mean? Like it's not fair of me to assume. I keep getting messages from people who don't like you, and I'm like, what the fuck? Bye. Yeah, that's how it is. And I like warn everybody who's in my life, like, listen, people know that you don't hate me. They're gonna be mean to you. Oh, I can only do so much, you know, like, I do my best to, like, be a good person and do good things. And, of course, I'm gonna, like, mess up here and there. Everybody does. But, like, I try my best to make good content and to be helpful to people and just, like, have fun, do my own thing. And if people aren't gonna like that, then, like, that's okay. Like, there's nothing I can do. You can have your opinion. It's a free country, kind of. I don't understand, like, the obsession. Like, I don't understand anybody, like, and this goes for anybody, not just me. Like, I don't understand the mindset you have to get in to, like, dislike somebody so much that you, like, are obsessed with them. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't like somebody, I'll just typically, like, unfollow them. Like, yeah, I might, like, talk, like, vent about them to, like, my friends or to Greg or whatever. Because, like, I get, like, being frustrated by somebody doing something bad or, like, stupid or whatever. But, like, I would never, like, oh, I'm gonna pledge to their Patreon to find out more. And, like, I just don't get that. I'm just, like, unfollow, and then I'll be like, yo, what the fuck, to, like, Greg or whatever. Like, oh, this was dumb as hell. Ooh. But that's just me. To each their own, I suppose. I get hate as well. Yeah, I think anybody who's part of, like, this Patreon or Greg's Patreon, especially if you're one of the more active people, gets hate. Like, I feel like all of you can probably relate. Like, if you interact with me on the internet at all, it's like, die. Okay, sorry. Which is why I'm glad I have mods now, but I don't know. I get Greg's haters in my inbox telling me to kill myself, and then I get your haters telling me you're never gonna love me. Like, okay. Some of it's an overlap too, which is fine. I actually think most of it's an overlap. I feel like, well, that's not true. I do get hate from people who, like, really extremely love Greg and, like, want me out of the picture so they can, like, have Greg to himself, or think that I've, like, made Greg a worse person or something. I used to get that all the time. Not so much anymore. I've been around for too long. But mostly, other than that, like, most of the hate I get is from people who also hate him, or because they hate him, they also hate me. People can be so vicious. I honestly respect how strong you are. Oh, thank you. I'm less strong than you think, which is interesting because I don't come off as strong anyways. But I think that if you deal with this stuff for, like, such a long time, you just, like, it sounds sad, but you kind of get used to it in a way. And it's like, you also realize, like, what matters. So, like, whenever I first, like, married Greg and, like, became a thing on the internet, a thing. I just, like, I was so obsessed with this, like, hate blog community. It was really weird and, like, super toxic for me, and I don't, to this day, don't understand why I did what I did, but I would, like, wake up in the morning, and the first thing I do would, like, go check the blogs to see what they're saying about me, just so I could, like, be upset, and I was like, eventually I was just like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? I don't have to see this stuff if I don't want to. I'm choosing to look at it. And then people will be like, oh, you lurk the blogs. And I'm like, oh, no, I don't. But I totally did. Like, I lurked them every day. And this was before, like, this was when it was all just, like, Tumblr. But I was, like, so, it made me so upset and stressed out all the time. And then eventually I was just like, I can't do this to myself anymore because it's, like, really bad for me. And I didn't know why I was doing it in the first place. So I almost had to, like, break an addiction. I guess not really addiction, but more like a habit. Because, like, I would want to look. And so I'd have to, like, distract myself or just straight up be like, no. And, like, after I did that for a couple weeks, it was, like, I didn't really have the urge to anymore. But, damn, that was weird as fuck. And now, like, and then, like, for several years, it, like, stuff that was being said would really bother me. Like, all the time. And stuff still does bother me, but, like, I try to make a conscious effort to, like, let shit go. Like, if I see something that bothers me, I have to remind myself that, you know, this is somebody on the internet, they don't know you, their hate comment affects nothing about your life unless you let it, so you need to just take a deep breath and let it go. Which doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. And I was just tired of spending all my time being anxious and upset because of people who don't know me and who I don't know. Like, if somebody's gonna make me upset, I at least want it to be somebody who's, like, in my life and actually knows me, other than people who have these ideas about who I am, just because of who I'm married to or because of whatever drama stuff. You're an amazing person, and I'm glad to see you know not to pay attention to it. Screw them. Yeah, I mean, easier said than done. And they do have valid points. Like, not a lot of valid points most of the time, but some of the stuff is valid. Like, I'm really bad about, like, ghosting people, and I'm really bad about, like, confrontation and, like, actually, like, facing my problems head on. But I'm not, like, an evil, like, malicious person, and I don't do half of these little rumor things that they come up with, you know? So, like, I'd never, like, try to maliciously hurt anybody. Like, that's never my goal. And that's why I'm so bad with confrontation, because I'm so scared that something I say is gonna hurt someone that I don't say anything, and then that ends up hurting somebody because I'm being, like, not upfront, and that's fucked up. I'm working on that. But, yeah. People accuse me of trying to replace your ex, and it pisses me off because literally all I do is say you're attractive. Nowhere have I ever made an attempt to actually date you. It's just fucked. Yeah, everybody who ever, like, compliments me, they're like, oh, you're just trying to replace so-and-so. And first of all, I don't like that word, like, oh, you're replacing somebody, because that's not how, like, the dating world works. Like, the next person I date is not replacing the last person I dated. They're just a new addition to my life. They are not a second version of the last person. They're a new person. They're completely own. They're a completely individual person, unique, whatever. Because, and, like, this is gonna sound, like, dramatic, and it kind of is, but, like, in my opinion, there is nobody that can replace, you know, my last, girlfriend, because, well, like, basically my only girlfriend. I've technically had two, but the big one, because, you know, she was her own person. She added something unique to my life, and she had a lot of unique qualities. And even if I dated somebody who was very similar to her, or looked like her, or whatever, they're not going to be the same as her, and they're not going to fill these same spots that she filled, or I'm not going to have the same moments with them, or the same anything with them, because they're not her. So nobody's going to be able to replace her, because that's not how this works. And, like, she was a very special person to me, and, like, despite everything that happened, like, she remains a very special person to me. because I just, you know, it's like a first love. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately for some reason, but it's like a first love. So like I've never really like loved anybody before Greg. I thought I did, but really it was like a whole fucked up like toxic scenario. And once it ended, I realized how I was like being manipulated and stuff, and that it wasn't like actual love. So like technically Greg was like my first love, my first like true love. But then this was like a different kind of thing, because I think it was because she's like a girl and I never like dated a girl before, and so she was like my first like girl love. And it's just like, because of that, she's always going to hold a very special place in my heart, regardless of what happened and regardless of all the drama that accompanied that. Like, I don't, as angry as I was and as hurt as I was, like at this point I don't hold any more like animosity about the situation, because it's just like, I appreciate everything that we shared together, and I appreciate having that experience, and I appreciate being able to feel that way about somebody else. So I don't know. And I feel like I'm always going to feel this way. Like I'm always going to be a little bit like sad that we're not in each other's lives, and that it just wasn't meant to be, because I kind of wish that it would have been compatible. And like I've accepted the fact that it wasn't, and that's fine. I'm not like, oh, please come back. But like, it's like a bummer when you find somebody who's really cool and who you think is going to be really great with you, and then they just aren't. And that's okay, but it can be a bummer. And I feel like I'm always going to feel that way, just because, you know, first love kind of thing. And I've come to terms with it. But yeah, the whole replacing thing, sorry, I went off on a tangent. The replacing thing is annoying and dumb, because that's not how fucking relationships work. It's okay to grieve over a loss of a relationship. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that it's totally okay to be sad about a relationship ending, and like, even though you don't like want it to continue, because I know that the relationship isn't good for like me or for her or anybody, but like in another lifetime, you know, kind of thing. But this is the first time I've like ever felt that way about like somebody else that I've like broken up with, where I feel like, man, that's a bummer that didn't work out. Sadness. I think the thing that's really hard about like losing people in your life is like, you just like, when you break up with somebody, you not only lose them as like a significant other, but you lose them as just like an entire ass person in your life. Like a lot of times relationships, like you just can't be friends. You can't even salvage like the friendship or like being able like to talk to each other and support each other. And that's a huge part of having a relationship. Like the people like that I've been in love with are my best friends. And so when you break up, it's like you not only lose like your partner, but you lose a best friend as well, and somebody you can confide in, and somebody you can vent to, and somebody you can do all these fun things with and have things in common with. And it's just like lame. I always do worse with breakups where it's like no contact ever again than I do with breakups that are like, I can pop in and be like, hey, how have you been? And they're like, oh, good, you? And I'm like, good. And then like we just don't really talk, but like it's not like they like died. Know what I mean? I don't know. I'm on a tangent today, I'll tell you what. And I don't know. I don't know why I'm saying all this shit, because I know it's gonna wind up on a fucking drama blog, and it's not gonna be good for me, because people are gonna be like, headline, Lainey wants their ex back. And that's not the case. I'm just explaining some feelings. It does suck, but it does get easier as time goes by. Oh yeah, definitely. The first like whole year after that, I felt like I had a hole in my heart. Like I just felt fucking destroyed. Like I felt a void, and it was awful. It felt like constant like brick on my chest. And I don't really feel that way anymore. I honestly don't think about it that often. I think I'm thinking about it more recently because I like saw something come up in my suggested page, and it just kind of like brought the idea back up in my brain. But yeah. I just stumbled upon a message from a toxic ex and I'm anxious. I hate that. Whenever I switched phones, I accidentally reset it to like October of 2016, and it had all of my messages with this person, and I was like, and me being, you know, the awful person I am, I fucking read them all, and I was like, this sucks. Why did I do that? You shouldn't have to keep it to yourself. I know, I know it's gonna get like misconstrued if it gets posted. Nothing I can do about that. And like I said, people are gonna think what they want, no matter what the actual context is. If they want to think that that's what I'm trying to say, then they're gonna think that's what I'm trying to say, and that's fine. I'm not mad. If it gets construed that way, I'm not fucking mad about it. You like my new vape? This is one of them. I just recorded this video today. I have a purple and blue one too, and I'm giving away 4 more. I think I already talked about this last stream, but I recorded like the video today for like the sponsored video, and this was the one like Greg picked out because I did it with him. What kind of vape is that? It's from like this like smoke people, SMOK, and it's called a Novo kit. So it's just like a little tiny thing, and I really like it because one, it's really quiet, and it's really small, and you can use your own. If I could get it off, I'm trying to show you. You can use your own juice in it. So like, you just boop, there's where the juice goes, and then you just put it in there. And I don't have to push the button or nothing, and I really like it. So I'm giving away some this week. So I think the giveaway is happening on my Instagram, so if you want to keep up with that, I'm giving away 4, a green, a red, black, and a white. Hopefully they like my video and want to sponsor me again, because I love sponsorships and I love their products. So it's funny because like the first like year and a half I was doing YouTube, I would get like sponsorship opportunities, and I would literally just like ignore them because it wasn't like my career yet, and I was like, oh, I don't need to do this. And then I like started doing it because of Adpocalypse and stuff, and I actually love doing sponsorships, like because I feel like I discover a lot of cool products that I wouldn't have like known of otherwise without this. And I always like, I'm not going to sponsor something I don't actually think is like quality. So like this thing I just sponsored in today's video, like the teeth whitening stuff, it worked so fucking good. Like so good. And I've been wanting to whiten my teeth for a while. The last whitening thing I found, it hurt my teeth so bad. It made them so sensitive. And then this one didn't, and it fucking worked. And I was like, yes, bitch. So, I love it. I have this sponsorship, and I'm doing one for like some superfoods, so I'm really excited about that. Like, it's from like a matcha place, so they make all this matcha stuff. Hi, Angie. So I'm stoked about that. And then I have another one, I think, that's happening, but I don't remember what it is. I don't know. Something else. Bye, Callie. See you later. I think this is about to die. I didn't charge it for that long because I was trying to record a video. I'm kind of sad because so they gave me 7. No. They gave me 7. No. They gave me 7, correct. So I got to pick one for myself, and then since Greg was in the video and I was like teaching him how to vape, I let him pick one, but the one he picked, it doesn't charge. I can't get it to charge. So, I mean, it's probably good that I tested it because I didn't want to send it to somebody and not work. So we pulled out another box and I only have 4 to give away. As opposed to 5. I'm going to try to make it work, but I don't think it's gonna. Like, I plug it in and the red light turns on, and then, like, after, like, 3 minutes, it just turns back off. Like, it's just not charging. I've tried it on, like, 4 different chargers. But these other 2 work great. Oh, God, Greg vaped. Yeah, the whole video is just, like, basically me teaching him how to work a vape. I don't know what I'm going to title it yet. How not to vape, maybe. Vaping gone wrong. I don't know. It's pretty funny, though. It's not quite done yet. I still have to put music on it, but I'm going to do that in the morning. So I need to take a bath because my neck fucking hurts. Vape apocalypse. I know. Okay, ever since I did the first vaping video where I got sponsored, every vape company in the fucking universe, it's like, hey, you want to do a video for us? And I'm like, yeah, sure. This one company sent me one to post with on Instagram, but it doesn't fucking work. And so I'm not going to post with it because it literally doesn't work. I take, like, as big of a hit as I did from this one. And, like, I get, like, this much. Watch. Wait. Every time. I'm like, and then there's just, like, a puff that comes out. And I'm like, okay. No. I wish another clothing brand would sponsor me because I want to do a lookbook. But I don't want to go buy clothes because it stresses me out. I can never find anything I like. Sounds shitty. Yeah, it's not the best vape in the world. I do not like it. Sometimes mods take like a few hours to charge. Oh, I had it plugged in for like all night and it just doesn't work. Like, it works, but like not well. Buying clothes is so stressful. I know. Here's my problem. And people always think that when I talk about shopping in the little boys section, I'm like bragging. No, I find it to be very upsetting and like humiliating because I go through like the women's section and like at Zoomies and places like that, I can find stuff that I like that's pretty androgynous and fits me. But when I shop at other places in the women's section, it's like everything's cropped, first of all. I don't want to fucking crop anything. And it's just, everything is just not me. Like, it's just not something I would feel comfortable wearing. Especially like the way things are cut. And so I go to the men's section and everything goes down to my fucking knees. So I can't wear it. So I have to go to like the boys section and it's a fucking embarrassing. Like, I'm not trying to brag about it. It sucks. I hate it. It kills my mood to shop at all times because I'm like, and then you can't find anything in the boys section anyways because it's like for kids, you know, and a lot of it is like just like athletic wear and I don't want that. Like, I want cool shit, but you can't find fucking anything. Besides rainbow, what's your favorite color? Lavender. Lavender's been my favorite color for a long time. Speaking of lavender, I want a new tattoo. That's kind of related to that's how I'm correlating it. But I really want a tattoo. I've been itching for one. I was supposed to get one a few weeks back, or I guess it was last month, but I did not get it. I like those glasses. Thank you. They're my favorites. I lost them, but I found them under a bed. Is that your fave scent too? It is, yes. I love lavender. And I also love anything like vanilla-y. Lavender vanilla. Greatness. The best. I love that lavender tattoo, by the way. Thank you. I love it too. I have to look in men's sometimes for flannels because men's flannels are better. That's true. I'll agree with that. I really, really want another tattoo. My forearm looks weird with just one medium tattoo on it. I feel you. I found this one just like on a tattoo like Instagram page that I like love. I feel like my parents might kill me if I get it, but it's like I'll have to find it and post a picture in the Discord, but it's like, just like this down, like the silhouette of like two people's faces, just from like their nose down, and they're like kissing, and they're like, I think they're like holding hands too, but it's just like an outline, and it was on their thigh, and it was so, I just thought it looked so awesome, and I want it there on my thigh as well, because I thought it was so like beautiful and cool. So, and I really liked that, like, the people kissing, like, they, neither of them you can tell like a gender or anything, they were just like people. I really like that. There's also one that I don't know if any of you were like emos back in the day, like the MySpace era, but Alex Pardee used to do like all this like art that a lot of like the emos loved, and there was this picture I always used to have on my, well, there's two. There's this picture I always used to have on my MySpace where they had, it was like two like skeletons like facing each other, and they were like vomiting like hearts at each other, or no, it was butterflies, and I just thought it was so like visionary. And then there's also the album artwork from Aiden's Nightmare Anatomy. I don't know why. I'll post all this in the Discord later, but I relate with this picture so much. Probably should have been an indicator that I feel more masculine, but anyways, I have always, like, since I've been like 13, I have related with this picture so much. It's like a guy like wearing a suit, but like his head is just flowers, and I love it so much. I love the art. I don't even particularly like that album, I just love the art. But I'll post all these pictures in the Discord tonight so you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think that would be really cool to get. Maybe, well, here's the thing, I gotta decide, because some of these, like that flower guy, might only work on my thigh, because it would be cool. But the other one I could do definitely like somewhere else, like the skeletons throwing up. But I don't know, I think my parents will kill me for that one too. And I think on the final side of my ankle, I want to get the, like, a Taking Back Sunday thing, like one of the circles. My next tattoo needs to be 5 by 2.5 inches, and I have several ideas for it, but I'm not sure if I like any of them enough to commit. I feel you. That's how I felt about my lavender, actually. Like, it was kind of like a spur of the moment tattoo where I was like, you know what? I want this. Like, this was not one of, like, my planned ones, but I, like, wanted it. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. And I did it, and it's, like, my favorite tattoo. Well, my second favorite tattoo. I love my elephants. I don't know. I just want more tattoos. They're expensive. And, like, I need clothes, too. So I'm like, because my mom's going to give me birthday money. But I want to go buy clothes because I don't like a lot of my clothes right now. And so I can't spend it on a tattoo. I asked my dad for an Apple Watch for my birthday. So we'll see what happens. But I want a Series 3 because the Series 4 looked, like, the same. Collarbone is a very visible spot, and that's one of my worries. Ooh, it's like my favorite, though. Like, I love when you can see it, like, through a shirt. Because it looks so, like, edgy. Power mode. Your B-Day is coming up. It is. I'm so excited for my B-Day. I love my B-Day. I'm a B-Day bitch. Like, I literally spent my entire life being like, no, like, it's not a big deal. Like, we don't have to do anything. And then, like, basically starting last year, I was like, what's up, bitches? It's my birthday. What are we doing? Whatever I want. Where's my gifts? Like, I have one day, not even one day, I try to just make it as much about me because I don't get any other fucking day of the year for myself where I actually do something nice for myself and other people do something nice for me. So, you know what? I'm going to force it because I can. And, like, I always, like, I try to not get my hopes up on Mother's Day anymore because everyone, I know this is like common for moms, but like Mother's Day is supposed to be about like treating your mother or like treating like the mother of your children, but Mother's Day always turns into like hell fest because you expect that you're gonna get like this special treatment or like a break or whatever, and you don't, and so like your expectation is broken and everything just seems worse because you were expecting something and it didn't happen. So I don't know. Is there some way we can send you tap money for your birthday? No, I would feel way too bad about that. Don't send me tattoo money. I would not feel good about that. I'll need to save up for it myself. Like, if you guys want to send, like, a card or whatever to my P.O. box, that would be awesome. I would love that. But I do not feel good about taking your money for a tattoo. I'm trying to... I think I need to charge this. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I have the watermelon juice in here right now, which is weird for me, but it actually tastes really good. I might send something. Well, thank you. I love birthday things. I love getting mail. I just love mail in general. I always have. Even when I was a kid, I was like, ooh, I got a letter from somebody trying to advertise to me. Great. I just love mail. So, especially birthday mail. Hi, Chelsea. I feel like I haven't talked to you in a long time. I hope you're doing good. I have too much smoke in here. It was funny. I used my vape while I was talking to my sister, which is funny because my sister is like, hella like, I don't want to say a fuckboy because that's not like, she's not a boy, but like, she's like part of like the 13-year-olds who like, likes Fortnite and does, you know, that group. Anyways, so I was like vaping on FaceTime and she was like, you do drugs now? I was like, no, it's vape and has no nicotine in it. So it's literally juice. Like, no. And she's like, I can't believe you do drugs. Also, I was like telling her, cause she's like allowed to do like everything. And I was like telling her, I was like, I got in trouble for like, being depressed. And she was like, what do you mean? And my dad was like, oh yeah, cause they had like a bunch of pills like stored up in their room, like a bunch of assorted pills. And I was like, first of all, I didn't know my dad knew about that, but apparently we had a whole conversation about this that I don't recall at all. Anyways, I used to keep an assortment of pills in my room just in case I ever like needed to kill myself, you know. It was just practical. Never used it, but I would just like collect pills here and there. Probably wouldn't work because most of them were like aspirin or like Tylenol, Motrin, whatever. So it probably wouldn't even work, but I just like, it was comforting that I could like kill myself if I wanted to, even though it probably wouldn't work. Anyways, besides the point, we did not need to go into my personal trauma here, but my sister was like, oh, why would you keep a bottle of pills in your room if you weren't going to do anything? That's stupid. And I'm like, thanks. Like, that's the most insensitive shit I've ever heard in my life. Oh, great. Now I outed myself. So this did not mean to turn into me wanting to kill myself. Thing. That was a long time ago. I don't do that anymore. that. I was like 15, or I guess it was up till I was like 17, but that was a long time ago. I never used them. I just had them. I think I had a razor blade at one point. I don't know. I tried to, like, trigger warning, I tried to, like, cut myself one time, and I couldn't do it because I'm really, like, scared of, like, pain. And my mom caught me and made me go to therapy, so yay. And apparently I literally don't remember this conversation at all happening with my parents, but my dad was like, oh, your mom found them. And then we, like, all, like, had a conversation at your mom's house about, like, your collection of pills. And I was like, what? Like, I don't remember this at all. I'm convinced that did not happen. But I don't want to ask my mom because I feel like if it did happen, it's going to hurt my mom's feelings for me to bring it up. So, I just feel weird that I don't remember that at all. I used to break open pencil sharpeners for the blades. Same! That's where my blade came from. Pencil sharpener. No, it was an eyeliner sharpener. I had like 3 that I just kept around with my pills. I didn't really use them, but I just kept them. I don't know. Collection. It literally was like a collection. I just had like an empty pill bottle, and like every so often I just go like take a couple pills out of like the pill cabinet and just put them in my assortment of pills. And now you all know. Hey, Realstream, what's up? My dude, thank you for airing my trauma to the internet. I can't wait to see this on YouTube in 2 days. Big ass mood. I know, that's what happened when I talked about all like my sexual assault shit on Patreon, and somebody fucking leaked it, and now everyone knows all my personal shit. That was the worst. That was the worst shit ever. When I was like, just like doing a live stream and someone brought up something I've never talked about except on Patreon. And I was like, neat. When I think about teen me, I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? Do you need a hug? Same. Please claim the video if the asshat does post it. Yeah, I probably will. I mean, yeah, that shit was awful trying to get, because I did like a Draw My Life for Patreon because I was like, oh, I trust these people and I want to share this really personal thing. And then somebody pledged to me, and then took all my videos, and then posted them, and then reposted them on YouTube, and reposted my Draw My Life like 4,000 fucking times, where I talk about all the times I've been fucking sexually assaulted. And it was great, because I just don't, I mean, eventually I would like to talk about that more publicly, in hopes that it'll help someone, but I'm not ready yet, and it was really shitty, like, for that to be taken, that chance to be taken away from me, because it was my fucking story to tell and not somebody else's, without my permission. So cool. Anyways, guys, my thing says 2 minutes remaining, so you want to ask me any more questions? I got 1 minute and 33 seconds. I have a question. Go for it. Make it quick, though, because it kicks me off at, like, 20 seconds left. Did I claim it? I didn't claim it. Somebody claimed it for me who has my phone number, so I don't know who claimed it. I was planning on claiming it. I just didn't get around to it until somebody else did it. I don't know. I'm really confused. Where are those glasses from? They're from VisionWorks. What did you do to get so perf? I'm not perfect, but I appreciate the sentiment. Yes. Sentiment, not sentient. I do agree, Chelsea. We need to talk more.